questions. Can I ask what we hate each other for? See, I'm just asking. You got that passion to see your sister go. I wanna see that woman stand, you leave her on the floor. Let's try to gain some understanding before you go to war. Your spirit pour deja vu, I've seen this before. Time after time played in my mind, I can't take no more. I did the crime, I did the time, I only bruised my soul. I had to grind, I had to climb, I had to choose my role. Have you been told that I love you lately? Been around those who don't bug you lately. Go around those who don't drive you crazy. You need a hug, my sister. Better hell with that mean mug, my sister. Come on, receive it, don't you shove, don't push me. It might not be about your nookie. And again, it might be about your cooking. Give you some ends, trying to supply some cushion. Discipline without no whooping. Known to show and prove without no woofing. Open your eyes to what you overlooking. Baby, don't that feel nice? Yeah, let me show that, don't that feel right? Ever felt what true love feel like? This ain't no pill high. When no shit they growing, no feel high. Keep you grounded, but yet you still fly. See, now I realize you epitomize everything a woman should be. And I pray to God that he working on my third eye, so I see that this world ain't all about you. It ain't all about me, but if you really giving out LOVE, so can I ask what we hate each other for? See, I'm just asking. You got that passion to see your brother go. I wanna see that man stand, you leave him on the floor. Let's try to gain some understanding before we go to war. Your spirit pour deja vu, I've seen this before. Young men are dying, young women dying, I can't take no more. You do the crime, you do the time, you only bruise your soul. You gotta grind, you gotta climb, you gotta choose your road. Have you been told that I love you lately? Go around those who don't bug you lately. Been around those who don't drive you crazy. You need a hug, my brother. Better help with all that hate, my brother. I know you dealt with dudes that's fake, my brother. Understand I can relate, my brother. Only so much you can take, my brother. What I'm trying to say, don't let that hate become you. Don't never break, my brother. Let me carry some of that weight, my brother. Better cleanse your soul for it's too late, my brother. See, now I realize you epitomize everything a brother should be. And I understand that that melanin inside you connect you to me. And that sun is where we gon' meet. Like God is how we gon' speak. With the same power to build and destroy, but yet unique. See, you get weak and I get weak, and we stay strong together. We keep each other inside that light, cause the darkness harms whoever. And you only create a diamond, keep applying that pressure. My crew knew better. Go faster by yourself, but we go farther when we go together. I ask what we hate each other for. See, I'm just asking, we got that passion to see each other go. I wanna see that person stand, you leave him on the floor. Let's try to gain some understanding before you go to war. Your spirit pour deja vu, I've seen this before. Young men are dying, young women dying, I can't take no more. I did the crime, I did the time, I only bruised my soul. I had to grind, I had to climb, I had to choose my road. Have you been told that I love you lately? That I love you lately. Have somebody, I love you lately. Say, I love you lately. Have somebody told you. Yeah. See how that came out.
Halito, what's happening, tribe? What's going on? What's happening? I know this is a late live. This is a late live, and I'm gonna be honest with you. For this live, I didn't even send out any notifications for this live, so whoever shows up in this live will just show up in this live. I didn't send out any notifications for a reason, just simply because I don't feel like arguing or trying to debate anybody about this topic. Okay. At this point in time, I feel like we can agree to disagree. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of y'all feel like this man was a so-called racist. I'm gonna be honest with you. So far, I don't see it. So far, I don't get it. I don't get the racist thing. You can disagree with me. You are more than welcome to disagree. But this live, I'm going to go through a lot of the you know things said about this man. Because again, I asked, was he a racist or did he just say a lot of harsh truths that a lot of our people don't want to hear? So again, I didn't send out any notifications for this. I know it's a late live. Um, I am going if Miss Shine show up, I'll probably drop the link for Miss Shine. Because I'm trying to drop it for her in the email. It ain't working. So um, if she show up, I'll probably bring her up on the live if she want to come up. But again, Texas, what's happening with you? Sonya, what's happening? I didn't send out any live, hold on, y'all, 1 second. Hold on. Um, Here's the thing, man. I'm looking at some of the things I heard this man say is a lot of the same things I have said concerning our people. You feel what I'm saying? I say a lot of times we play the victim. We have this victimhood mentality. We have this victim mentality about our communities, about our situations, about where we're at in life. We're holding on to slavery. We're screaming how we're oppressed by the white man, this, that, and other. I just don't live that way. Okay, that's just me, though. Okay, if you choose to hold on to slavery, if you choose to uh, scream about how the white man is holding you down and oh my gosh, that's sure, that's hey, more power to you. All right. I just don't understand how we can scream black power in one breath and then scream, oh, we're oppressed in the next breath. It doesn't make sense to me. Either it's black power or it's we oppressed. I don't know. Anyway, um, I wanted to play this video. The guy who I'm going to play, his name is Amir Odom. The reason I'm gonna play his video is because he did an excellent job breaking down Donald Trump's lies, the lies that were told on Donald Trump. He did an excellent job of breaking down all the lies told on Donald Trump. Now I haven't seen this video. I'm going to sit here and watch this video with y'all. Whoever's in here, I'm going to sit here and watch this video with y'all for the first time. As I'm watching it live with y'all. Again, I told y'all I didn't know much about this Charlie Kirk guy. I didn't watch him all like that. But I do remember him. I do remember seeing him. So far, what I've heard from this Charlie Kirk guy just doesn't sound like racism to me. Doesn't sound like a racist to me. What it sounds like, and let me give you an opinion. Let me give you some examples. So I heard him talking about. I heard him because I'm gonna tell y'all this. He was called a white supremacist, right? He was called this. He's been called a racist white supremacist. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this. If he's a racist and if he's for white supremacy took him out of here. All right, they got him out of here. Let me tell you why I say white supremacy is behind his death. Because he was saying too much stuff that were things to help melanated people out of their situation. And if you're going to be a white supremacist, you probably shouldn't be saying some of the things that he said. All right. So when I see this so-called white supremacist man telling the black community, hey, you guys need to stop celebrating death and destruction in your community. Stop celebrating that. You're better than that. If I'm a white supremacist, if I sent you in here to be the white supremacist, the new face of white supremacy, you're already starting off wrong. No, Charlie, don't be telling them to stop glorifying death and destruction. We put death and destruction there for them to glorify it, so they'll destroy themselves. Don't tell them not to glorify it, Charlie. Okay? Like, what are you doing? You're a white supremacist. You're not supposed to tell them things that help them. All right? When I heard him say he doesn't believe in race, he doesn't believe in race. He believes we're all the same underneath. When I heard him say that, if I'm the white supremacist at the white supremacy headquarters, I'm saying, what are you doing, Charlie? Of course race matters. Of course it matters. That's the whole thing. We're white supremacy, sir. Like we matter. Like race matters. But Charlie is debating a black guy who's, who's debating him about race. And Charlie is saying, man, I don't even believe in race. I believe we're all the same underneath. But if I'm at the white supremacy headquarters, I'm saying, hey, who sent this Charlie guy? He's starting off horrible. If I see Charlie talking to a black woman, if I see Charlie talking to a black woman in the crowd and he's saying, hey, that's a beautiful black baby you have. That's a beautiful black. I'm sitting at the white supremacy headquarters and I'm like, what is he talking about? What is Charlie up there talking about, saying that nigger baby is a blessing from heaven? What is he doing? If I'm at white supremacy headquarters, Charlie's not, he's messing up. Okay? If I'm the head guy at white supremacy and I'm watching him, when I see Charlie say, hey, black folks, we need to get the fathers back in the home. We need to get the fathers back in the home. If I'm the white supremacy guy that is trying to make him the new face of white supremacy, I'm saying, Charlie, shut your ass up. No, we don't want the fathers in the home. Why would you tell the black people to get the fathers in the home? Why would you do this, Charlie? You're white supremacy. We don't want the fathers in the home. You get what I'm saying? I'm hearing him say things like this to the black community as a supposed face of white supremacy, a racist white man. So I'm just saying, if I was the white man sitting at the white supremacy headquarters, I'm not happy with Charlie right now because Charlie is saying some things. When I hear Charlie say, you're better than what you've been through. Your ancestors, yes, they went through such and such, but you're better than that. You can, in today's time, you have the same ability to be great just as the white man. If I'm sitting at the white supremacy headquarters, I'm saying this Charlie motherfucker, this nigga is tripping. He is all this. Who appointed him white supremacy? He's backwards. No, Charlie, you don't tell them they can be as great as us. It's white supremacy, Charlie. They're supposed to feel inferior to us. Charlie, what are you doing at these colleges? These are things to our community. These are things I actually heard him say, which I don't see what's wrong with what he's saying. telling us to stop celebrating death and destruction in our community. I agree. As a copper colored male, I agree. That's some shit I say. Another thing I'm peeping is the more and more I'm looking at this stuff, people are taking small clips of what this man is saying, and just like they do Donald Trump, just like they do Trump, they take small clips and they give you the worst part of what he's saying instead of you going to watch the whole debate and getting full context, because that's what I had to do for some of his debates. And I said, I don't hear racist. Now, let's get this straight. Do I agree with all of his views? No, I didn't agree with all of Martin Luther King's views. I didn't agree with all of Malcolm X's views, especially when it came to religion. Did I agree with Martin Luther King and the non-violence, turn the other cheeks? No, I didn't. So I don't agree with everything everybody says. And I didn't agree with everything he said. All right? But racist, I didn't hear. Seeing him out with black people, if I'm at the white supremacy headquarters and I'm seeing black people say, Charlie has gotten many black children to come to the White House, I'm saying, Charlie, what are you doing? That's not white supremacy, Charlie. You don't inspire these Negro children to think they can make it to the White House, Charlie. Why would you take hundreds of children to the White House, Charlie? Hundreds of Negro children. Why would you do this? Who got this guy Charlie in the white supremacy club? And it seemed like to me, white supremacy got Charlie up out of here, because it seems to me like Charlie was kind of doing the opposite of what y'all saying, of him being a racist. It sounds to me like Charlie was telling black folks how to raise above their situation. Stop being a victim. Stop. It sounds like Charlie was saying you can do what you want to do. And it sounds like white supremacy wasn't having that. They wasn't feeling that. Get him out of here. We thought we could bring him in as white supremacy. He out here telling the black folks how to better themselves. Why would we get him out of here is what it sounds like to me. He got knocked off by one of his own. He got knocked off by one of his own. It sounds like they wasn't too happy that he's telling the people that he's supposed to be against how to better themselves. And even though some of those things he said may have had harsh truths to them, if you stop and think about some of the things he was saying, I just didn't hear racist. I just didn't. But I'm going to go through this video, and I'm, like I said, I'm just going to listen to this with y'all, just like this is my first time hearing it. I mean, I haven't heard none of this, but I want to hear some of the things Amir broke down. I like Amir. I thought he did a great job breaking down the lies of Donald Trump, showing you how the media manipulates things. And I just want to hear where he goes with this Charlie Kirk situation. Now, Amir is very laid back, so this ain't gonna be no exciting live, but I do want to hear what he brings to the table. He's very laid back, he's very calm. So for some, this can get kind of boring. But for this, I'm posting this because I want people to be able to come back and watch this later and say, that's not what he said. That little clip you showed, this is what's actually said. This is with context to it. You feel what I'm saying? So um, I'm gonna play this video. I'm just interested in hearing, you know, what he said with context. You have the right to feel like he's a racist. That's your opinion. I disagree at this point. At this point, I disagree. It's also, before I start this video, also, well, don't offer the same courtesy. I commend you, brother, because I ain't got time to teach grown folks what they already should know. Listen, Texas, you know, I wasn't gonna go live because I said the same thing. I ain't got time to argue with people who's already conditioned, who's already in a victim mentality. I don't have time to argue with people, but I do see where people are taking a little clip and they're running with a lot of, you know, and then when you go back and listen to, you know, how he got to where he how he got, yeah, I mean, how he got to his points, you don't get that in a little 30-second clip. People are going to take a clip and make it sound like what they want to make it sound like. You feel what I'm saying? So and maybe we'll hear some of that, and I'll be able to show y'all what I'm talking about. Another thing before I get started is I feel like that man was murdered over freedom of speech. And I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like people like myself and people like you who are ones who will speak up when everybody else is going right and you go left. I feel like that's who Charlie was. He went left, you know, he, he, you know, to hear what that man had to say. So what if he was a racist? Did that mean he deserved to die the way he died? So what? It's just what I feel. So what? It's 2026. Half of y'all are racist. Half of y'all are just as racist, right? And I feel like they're trying to make it to the point where everybody is censored. You have to watch what you say. You can't go against what other people are saying. I feel like we're getting to that point. If you're talking too much, helping the people, helping humanity, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to get you out of here. And I feel like that man was helping if you paid attention. I mean, from what I've seen so far, you don't tell people that you want to oppress how to better themselves. And that's what I heard. I heard him saying things that help our people. And I feel like white supremacy, for those of y'all that believe in white supremacy, got him up out of here. Oh man, we thought we had one. We thought we had a new face of white supremacy. This man out here telling these people how to better themselves. This man is out here supposed to be for white supremacy. He out here challenging them to do better. He's out there telling them that they have just as much um what do I want to say? They have just as much hope as the white man. They have just as much, you know, they can be just as great as the next man. He's not supposed to be telling them this and he's white supremacy. He's supposed to be making them feel inferior. Let's go, man. Let's see what Amir talking about. But I do feel like this is an attack on freedom of speech. All right. Yeah, probably. You could be right. I want to see what this guy has to say. So let me pull this up. All right, let's check him out. Remember, he's kind of laid back, kind of talks a little slow, but he does great breakdowns, and I want to see what he says about Charlie Kirk.
At all. Like you destroy the meanings of these words and you just throw them out nonstop. You really do. And when politicians do things like this, it boils my blood. Not even just politicians, but mainstream pundits and political commentators. I've never like there are some fringe people out there, but on this level, this mainstream, on the right, calling for violence in this manner, no, you don't see it. You just don't. And the lies. There's so many out there that we'll go through, but we're gonna focus on Charlie Kirk for this video. But here's an inkling. Here's just one example of a small lie that is like it's one card in a house of cards of lies that they have built that they present as the mainstream media. It's hard to look at the news for a lot of people and think, well, they're all lying to me, but it's the little lies that just add up and add up and add up that just like when you step away from that and you look at it from a clear lens, you're like, oh shit, like what is really going on? The quote that I'm going to pull up is from advocate.com, and the title is Reactions to Far-Right Activist Charlie Kirk's Death Pour in Across the Political World. And they have a section here from GLAAD, GLAAD. It's a LGBTQ rights nonprofit organization. Where it gets crazy to me is right here. GLAAD stressed the extent to which Kirk and Turning Point USA promoted anti-LGBTQ plus narratives. The group highlighted Turning Point College's campus campaigns featuring speakers such as Riley Gaines, Chloe Cole, and Pastor Jensen Yu, who regularly spoke against transgender people. You guys, Chloe Cole's...
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
trans. Chloe Cole was a trans minor that got a double mastectomy as a minor and actively speaks out against transitioning minors so that they did not have to go through all the medical defects and mental turmoil that Chloe Cole is now going through because she was sent down the right to transition as a minor.
I was medicalized starting with puberty blockers and then testosterone at the age of 13. I went on to have a double mastectomy at 15.
You have GLAAD, this gay organization, calling Chloe Cole anti-trans people. They're literally... That's just one example, you guys. That's just one example. Again, I show all this and I'm saying all this because this is what Charlie inspired me to do. It's what he told me to do. And I'm very honored and very thankful for the interactions that I've had with him in the past. Truth matters. Context matters. And I hope that you walk away from this video with at least a more open mind and understanding on why so many people genuinely love the things he had to say and how he operated and moved through this realm. Regardless, in this video, I'm going to be recapping all the things that are currently being said and discussed about Charlie Kirk, starting off with gun rights.
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational.
And this is important because it's a clip that's kind of like a gotcha. Well, Charlie called for this. He asked for this. No, he did not. There's a strong difference between advocating for gun rights because you can protect yourself, but your personal safety, and also from a tyrannical government versus the right for mentally ill people to commit political assassinations. There's a major difference, and obviously there's some context that goes into that. He's not advocating for political assassins to take place. He's not advocating for crazy people to just go out there and be shooting people willy-nilly. No, he's acknowledging the fact that some shootings will happen, but we also can acknowledge that this assassination of Charlie Kirk is bigger than just a random shooting. That's not what this is. This is a planned and targeted attack. That's what that was. It was an attempt to silence this growing, this extremely growing faction of people that are going against mainstream media, speaking up for the truth and being loud about it.
That's kind of what I was just saying. That's kind of what I was just saying. I feel like this is an attack on freedom of speech. And yes, I do agree. There's too many of us waking up, doing our own research and things like that. And we're the type of people that they don't want our voices heard. When you go against the grain, when you think for yourself, when you research for yourself, and you're not going along with what mainstream media is feeding to you, or what your little echo chamber groups are feeding to you on social media. And you're thinking, for those are the voices that they want silenced. And I do feel like it's an attack on those people using their voices to speak up against certain things. That's basically going against the machine
movement that Charlie has been behind and is highly, highly responsible for. And all this did, honestly, was push forward his beliefs even more. Yes, unfortunately, bad people get a hold of guns and they do something horrible, but I'm not looking at that clip of Charlie Kirk and think, well, he clearly asked for it because, he's fine with citizens having guns. No, that's just not how that works. Empathy. Now, there's also a clip that's going around of Charlie Kirk talking about his opinions on the word empathy, and let's just hear what he has to say.
The new communication strategy is not to do what Bill Clinton used to do, where he would say, I feel your pain. Instead, it is to say, you're actually not in pain. So let's just, very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Sympathy, I prefer more than empathy. That's a separate topic for a different time.
Important. At the end, he says, sympathy is what I prefer more than the word empathy, because he feels like empathy is a word that's being taken advantage of. And it is. It is an overblown word. It is a word that has been, if we're going to explain that quote and what he was referring to and talking about, this idea that's been growing that we have to be empathetic of everybody. And there comes a point where our empathy clouds our judgment. There comes a point where you're so empathetic. Instead of just having sympathy for somebody, you're so like, I feel your pain and I don't want you to have pain. Here, just take anything, where that ruins society. Something that I often think about is this growing hatred, like infighting within the LGBTQ community. And I'm not kidding you guys. There's a growing faction of trans men who hate gay men because trans men are saying trans men are men. The only reason I'm gay, I'm sorry, we're all due respect to females out there. The only reason I'm gay is because I don't like women, like biological women. I don't like biological women. Trans men are biological women. Obviously, that's not going to work out. So you have some gay people like, you need to be empathetic towards these trans people and recognize them as a man that they are. We're different. And then people are like, well, that hurts their feelings. You're being transphobic. You're being a bigot. And it's being overused. It's being overused. Oh, well, we have to be empathetic towards Leah Thomas changing in the restroom and identifying as a female. Leah Thomas is walking into this women's locker room, slanging the elephant trunk all around, making all the women, biological women, feel uncomfortable. But people are using the term, oh, you have to be empathetic towards Leah. Leah identifies as a female. She's a female. That word is being used in a negative manner. That's what all that was talking about. He appreciates and values the word sympathy. So people are taking this quote out of context and say, well, I don't have empathy for Charlie because Charlie doesn't like empathy. Look deeper. Stop listening to friend groups. Stop listening to tweets. Stop listening to TikToks. Like literally, just think deeper about these things, you guys. Think deeper. Think critical. And the truth will be revealed. Gay people.
I'm a gay conservative, and I just want to ask you, what do you have to say for people like me who kind of feel like, I guess, it's kind of hard for gay conservatives because there's not a lot of us. So, like, what do you have to say to other gay people who need to realize, like, they do have a choice?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to the conservative movement. I don't think you should introduce yourself just based on your sexual
No, I
attractions.
agree. I like
because that's not who you are.
I like to be thought of as a person, and
For sure, you are a complete human being, and I'm sure you treat people well, and you're studying something. So I want to get away with this idea that you're gay anything. I just think that we have gone a long way in the negative direction in this country, where we act as if the most important part of your identity is what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't mean that much to me, but if you ask from a perspective as a Christian, I don't agree with that lifestyle. But politics is about addition and multiplication. I imagine you agree with a lot of what we talk about.
absolutely.
Right? Strong borders, strong country, and for that, we welcome you into the conservative movement.
If you get stuck on a melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is
Thank you.
That's what they call homophobic. Oh, well, he said he doesn't agree with that lifestyle and he doesn't like gay marriage. That's fine. You don't have to think 100% with me on board. And just because you don't like what gay people do doesn't mean I'm gonna write you off as a bigot, homophobic person. And
Yeah, and a lot of times, because we may not agree with it may not be our cup of tea, we get labeled as homophobic, or I've even heard, because we don't agree with men going in women's restrooms or women in men's restrooms and things like that, we're homophobic because of that, because of these things. Yeah, I think it's crazy. I definitely think it's crazy. I think people should be looked at as people. People should be looked at as people. You feel what I'm saying? And I just think it's crazy. Like I said, I'm just listening to this, for the first time. But I get right there what they're saying, because if you don't agree with their lifestyle, I have heard people, oh, you're homophobic, because hey, I don't agree with men going in the women's bathroom with my daughters, and that's not homophobic. And I think that's where some of the gay community even bump heads at, because this is where you have people like him who's saying, hey, I agree with the heterosexual people. You feel what I'm saying? I agree with the straight people. You're not a woman. You're not, that's I do get in, as far how they'll call you homophobic because you don't agree with their lifestyle, or you don't agree with the agenda that's being pushed through that community.
and like, boom, it's not going to talk to you for the rest of my life. No. Do you have any idea how gay Turning Point is? With all due respect. You have any idea how many gay people is employed there? Any idea how many gay influencers have been on Turning Point's platform? Like, I can't comprehend this idea that he's this homophobic bigot just because he is very fond of his religion and he doesn't think two guys should be able to get married. There's a lot of people that think that. I personally think the government should just be out of marriage completely. But again, I'm not going to write somebody off just because they have one opinion. One opinion that may change. One opinion that we probably can reach a middle ground, like the government getting out of marriage. But very kind, very respectful, very opening to lots and lots.
No, LL, they do have beef though. And they do have beef, because I do know some I do know some people from the gay community who don't agree. They don't agree with the whole trans thing. And I think I spoke on this with the whole Trump thing too. They feel like, so the gay people be feeling like they're catching a bad end of the stick because of the transsexuals. You feel what I'm saying? The gay people are feeling like the transsexuals are making it, giving them a bad name, giving their whole community a bad name. So yeah, there is some internal beef going on, and I guess we're hearing it live and direct from this brother right here from the community.
Of gay people out there. That was the Charlie I knew. Everybody knew. Like he was very nice and cool with lots of different gay people out there. It was not that big of a deal. Trans people.
I just want to say I'm a transgender male. What age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy? Because I don't know what's true, what's not.
Tell me, are you comfortable telling me your story?
I've known that since like 3rd grade, and I'm currently 19, almost 20. I've known basically since then. I didn't start going by like a different name until 7th and 8th grade. I just don't know, like with the the whole medical stuff, like what's true, what's not.
I'm gonna let this person finish, but Charlie gets called a transphobic bigot. The crowds get called transphobic bigots. There's a trans person that went through that crowd, is asking a question, heckling them, harassing them. No one's beating them. Charlie's sitting there. All he ever did was hear people out. Like he wasn't this radical person that was very mean and rude on campuses. No, he could get stern with people. He was matching energy. That's for sure. He matched energy. But this is who we're talking about. Someone super transphobic.
It's helpful because I've friends.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of
and
course.
and I have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system.
I don't
in
know.
the pursuit.
I don't know. I might have missed that. Step up. I might have missed that. I might have missed that. Hold on. I'm curious too now.
Since then.
Completely. But again, I'm not gonna ask somebody off just because I have one opinion. One opinion that may change. One opinion, get marriage, but
Mic check, mic check, mic check. My bad, y'all, man. This stupid ass internet, man. Give me 1 second. My bad, y'all. This internet is horrible over here, man. That's why I don't be like really going live like that until yeah, man, the damn internet be acting stupid over here, man. That's why I don't really be going live like that. I'm in the process of relocating, man, and the internet over here is garbage. So, give me 1 second, man. I'm trying to get this back up. But I'm looking at how. Let me see if I can switch to my shit. That's why I don't be wanting to go live like that. That's why I be kind of doing the videos instead, man, because internet over here is garbage. Let me see if I can switch over. Give me 1 second. So I see where he's saying that because he don't agree with, as I guess as a Christian, he don't agree with some of the views of, the LGBT community. So because he doesn't agree, not saying that he has anything against the people of the community, but simply because he doesn't agree with their lifestyle or whatever, he's being called a homophobic. He's being called homophobic and he's being called a bigot or whatever. But now y'all see how easily somebody can put a label on you? How people can easily put a label on you because you don't agree with their their views or whatever. So because you don't agree with their views or you have a strong view on Mic check, mic check. Big Dog Philly OG, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Let me get back up in here, man. What I was saying was, you see how easy it is for people to put a label on you. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't agree with their views or whatever. So simply because I guess as a Christian man, this man doesn't believe in. He doesn't believe in the the lifestyle of the LGBT community. He's being called a homophobic because he doesn't agree with the lifestyle, especially through his religious beliefs. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why I was asking the question, like, what we hear about him saying about our community, is he really being a racist in what he's saying? Or is it just a harsh truth that sometimes we just don't like to hear, especially coming from somebody from another race? It's kind of like basically saying, hey, mind your business. You know what I'm saying? Mind your people. Don't tell us about our people over here. He could be saying all the right things about our people, but because he's from another race, oh, you're a racist to even say something like that. So I'm asking, is it really hate speech or is it speech you hate? You feel what I'm saying? So perfect example. I give you an example of what I'm talking about. Take the rapper Russ. Russ is I think Russ is mixed. I don't think Russ is fully white, but he's a rapper in the rap community, right? And Russ said some real stuff about how they're using our children with rap music. Now, this is a white rapper saying this about our community and our music. He said they're using our copper-colored children to using them as weapons of mass destruction through the music and have them killing each other. But Russ said, but hey, because I'm a white boy saying this, who's going to listen to me? You feel what I'm saying? But Russ was saying some real stuff. They are using our children as weapons of mass destruction through the rap music and to kill each other, to genocide each other, degrade each other. They are. But he felt like being a white boy saying it, I mean, woo, woo, woo. So when you hear Charlie Kirk say some of this stuff, as easy as they putting homophobic on him as a label, could we be putting racist on him as a label too? I'm just asking.
He was matching energy, that's for sure. He matched energy. But this is who we're talking about as someone super transphobic.
It's helpful because I've heard so many different opinions.
First of all, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have an opinion that very few people will ever tell you, which is I want you to be very cautious putting drugs into your system in the pursuit of changing your body.
Mm-hmm.
I instead encourage you to work on what's going on in your brain first. I think what you need first and foremost is just a diagnosis, just someone that is going to listen to what you've gone through, listen to what else is going on. My prayer for you.
And I can tell you right now, somebody took him saying that clip right there. You needing a diagnosis. I can almost guarantee somebody done clipped that, made it into a little clip and said, Charlie Kirk calls a trans woman crazy. He, you see what I'm saying? You see how easy you can take a clip and turn it into what you want to turn it into? I can almost guarantee you there's a clip somewhere out there of him saying, I think you need a diagnosis. And they done put the biggest title up there. Charlie Kirk calls trans woman delusional or says the trans woman has mental illness. You see what I'm saying? Just that little clip. What up, Love is Power? What's happening? What's going on?
And again, very few people will say this. I actually want to see you be comfortable in how you were born.
Yeah.
I know that you might not feel that way, but I think that is something that you can achieve. I think that with the right team and the right people, you don't have to wage war on your body. You can learn to love your body.
That's
Now, now let me ask you this. Let me ask this question. Now, I'm not from that community, okay? Was that him being homophobic? Was that him being disrespectful towards that community? Or was that maybe a harsh truth for that community? Hey, listen, I would rather see you, thrive in the body you were born in. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, how you would take that, but maybe someone from that community might feel some type of way. Hey, I feel how I feel, and I don't know. I don't know how that conversation would go on that side of town. But just me hearing it, I don't hear him being disrespectful towards the trans community. I don't hear him degrading the person from that community. It just sounds like that might have been a hard truth to hear for that person, that, hey, I can't agree with you on what you feel, but I would like to see you thrive in the body you were born in. How
that's the people. That's who someone that people are calling transphobic bigot. Someone like that in an interaction like that. Respectful, calm, telling a person how they feel, wishing them the best, going about their day. There's another one.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
And I think that's where the hatred
I'm not
comes from.
preventing you from dressing up like this. However, let me ask you a question. I will flush this out. So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
let's pretend. Let me tell you what that trans person sounds like to me already. He's already angry. He's already got his mind made up. He sounds to me like the victimhood people when he gets to talking about race and the Black community or whatever. The people that's already got it in their head that he's a racist. That's how that trans person sounds to me. Like, I'm ready to go to war with him. Like, I'm already, I don't want to hear nothing he has to say. I'm ready to go to war with him. And his mind is already made up.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean, I wouldn't.
So
you're
going to force me and shame me? No, hold on a second.
Anything, man.
I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is never common courtesy to lie. Okay. You do not become a thing just because you say it. You are the thing. And guess what? Nobody in the history of the species that was born XX or born XY and transitioned is able to change their chromosomes. Every one of your cells is coded either XX or XY. And it is an insult to women.
Now, see what I'm saying? Is that, is that a fact, what he's saying? Or, I mean, do we just go off of your feelings? Because that trans person, or this, I don't even know if that's a real trans person or just a cross-dresser. But does that, because that person feels what they feel, but he's telling you nobody has ever switched those chromosomes. It hasn't happened. Is that a harsh truth? Or is he being homophobic? Or is he being disrespectful towards the trans person? I don't know. You have every right to feel how you feel about what he's saying, even when he gets to the race part. We can agree to disagree.
Everywhere in this audience and across the country, that's saying that you could just wear makeup and dress like a woman, undergo surgery, that you magically become a woman. And it is the abolition of women, and is the abolition of reality.
That it can be hard to hear for some people. I will acknowledge that. But that's not transphobic. That's just the truth. There's a
It's just a
reason
harsh
trans
truth.
people exist.
That's all I'm saying. Like when y'all get to calling a man a racist and woo woo woo, I'm just asking the question: is he really a racist? Because he got took out by white supremacy for telling you to better yourself as copper colored people. So, was he really a racist, or did he just spit a bunch of harsh truths? I don't know. You can feel how you want to feel. We can agree to disagree.
Have male and you have female. If you're transitioning from male to female, you're attempting to mimic the other thing, right? You're transitioning from male to female. Clearly, what that means is you were never that thing and you're never going to be that thing. I have trans friends. Love my trans friends. They acknowledge that they're what they were born as. They acknowledge their gender dysphoria. They acknowledge the mental health things that they go through. And that's all fine and dandy. And I call them what they want to be called, but you can't force that on somebody. The only reason
I agree.
all this attention has been on trans people the last few years is because their involvement in transitioning minors and being involved in women's spaces. That's it. The two most protected groups of
Facts. That's what I was talking about earlier, LL, when we was talking about them beefing. That's what the gay community is beefing with the trans community about. This, the transitioning of minors and things like that. That's what, and the gay community feels like the trans community is giving the whole rainbow community, LGBT community, a bad name. That's what they're beefing about.
It is the abolition of women and is the abolition of reality.
that. It can be hard to hear for some people. I will acknowledge that, but that's not transphobic. That's just the truth. There's a reason trans people exist. You have male and you have female. If you're transitioning from male to female, you're attempting to mimic the other thing, right? You're transitioning from male to female. Clearly, what that means is you were never that thing and you're never going to be that thing. I have trans friends. Love my trans friends. They acknowledge that they're what they were born as. They acknowledge their gender dysphoria. They acknowledge the mental health things that they go through. And that's all fine and dandy. And I call them what they want to be called, but you can't force that on somebody. The only reason all this attention has been on trans people the last few years is because their involvement in transitioning minors and being involved in women's spaces. That's it. The two most protected groups of people in the world, really, for the most part, it's kind of like off limits, women and children. Trans people in the United States the last few years have gone after women and children. There's other videos on my channel that we've talked about this in great lengths.
And that's coming from somebody in the gay community breaking that down and explaining that part of the game.
This is a thing that actually has happened. This is why people have become so vocal. There's a reason we see gay relations in the United States completely getting positive and getting better, and it starts plummeting when all this stuff started happening, when trans women in sports and transing children. If we're going to look at it from a different perspective, kids, they can't drink, they can't vote, they can't smoke. They're kids. They're not grown enough. So this thought and idea that you can give a 14-year-old a double mastectomy, and before you say, oh, it doesn't happen, Chloe Cole, it does happen. Before you say it doesn't happen or that's wrong, these are things actively going on. When I'm talking about book bans, I have all the books in my closet. I've read them.
Do you need a loan for your business? Well, if you've been around for over a year, I'm about to show you how to get up to
Yeah, that's kind of deep.
All the LGBTQ books that have been banned.
It is actually
it's literally corn. Giving instructions on how to please yourself. For sixth graders?
Yeah, I was just going to say, these are books that they are actually presenting to our children. These are books that have actually been into the school system. the trans are going to the schools and reading them to the children. Yeah, that's really an active thing.
Again, I wasn't going to be sitting here being told how to think. I bought the books. You can buy them. You can look in them and you can decide for yourself if you really think that's appropriate for 5th and 6th graders. It's not. But on the topic of trans, Charlie Kirk really stood up for the women and children. And he did promote the detransitioners because their voice matters too. It does, especially when you're dealing with minors, not adults, minors. When you have this growing faction of trans people saying, hey, I was a trans minor and I made the wrong decision, at least wait till you're an adult. All of a sudden, that's being considered transphobic and bigoted. I thought we were supposed to listen to them. Notice whenever you're being invited to hear another side, it's always a term for them. Oh, they're transphobic, don't listen to them. They're TERFs, they're anti-trans people, they're self-hating gays, self-hating blacks. What if they're just people with opinions? What about that? Racism.
You are here in the wealthiest country ever,
Yes.
at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backward.
Okay, so I think this is kind of where, kind of where we want to get to, the racism part. At least I do. I definitely want to get to the racism part. But I want y'all to hear something.
Racism.
You are here in the wealthiest country ever,
Yes.
at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backwards at everything that prevented you when you are a glaring example that there is no systemic racism and you can actually achieve your.
Now, this is what I was talking about. If I'm the head white supremacist man sitting in the office, and Charlie is supposed to be our guy, right? He's supposed to be our new face of white supremacy, right? He's supposed to make the black people feel inferior, right? He's supposed to be the racist guy. Now, when I hear him talking like this to this Negro,
racism.
You are here in the wealthiest country ever,
Yes.
at an amazing university with all the opportunity imaginable in front of you. And all you want to do is look backwards at everything that prevented you when you are a glaring example that there is no systemic racism and you can actually achieve your wildest dreams.
Wait. Hey, Jimmy Lee. What the hell is he down there doing? What the hell is he down there doing? He's supposed to make them feel inferior, Jimmy Lee. What did we bring this guy in here for? He's not supposed to inspire them to do better. He's supposed to be the face of racism. What is he? He's supposed to be the new white supremacy racist guy that we brought into the club. What is he down there doing? What the hell? I would think that's what it would sound like at the white supremacy office. He's supposed to be saying the shit that piss everybody off. He's not supposed to be inspiring them.
I've never said that. Hey, I'm not the only black person who exists out there. There's so many people who this culture is affecting to this day.
Do you know black Americans are the richest black people on earth?
No, Charlie.
What's
Africa?
What are you doing?
Okay,
Don't tell him no shit like that, Charlie. What the hell is Charlie doing? Why would you tell him something like that, Charlie? That might inspire them. What are you doing? White power, Charlie. White power. No. White power, Charlie. It's white power. The hell is he doing, Jimmy Lee? Who brought this guy in here?
I need you to pull that up like right
Fine,
now.
you can. Black Americans per capita on average.
Can you pull that up?
I'm hosting an event right now. I don't know what to tell you, but anyone can fact check me on this. So you cannot find a black majority country or any country where black people have significant representation where they are as wealthy, because even the poorest people in America are in the top 5%, the top 2% of wealth around the world. And so my whole belief is stop acting like you're a victim and start making better choices.
This guy is hell. Stop acting like you're a victim. That's what we want him to do. That's what we want them to do, Charlie. This is the shit I'm talking about, Jimmy Lee. We want them to be victims, Charlie. I'm just saying, if I'm the head guy at the white supremacy office and I'm watching my racist guy go to work, what is he doing? What the hell is he down there doing? This is not what he's supposed to be saying to the Negroes. He's not supposed to be saying things like this. I'm just saying, if I'm the white supremacy guy who brought this nigga in and he's supposed to be the face of racism, he's supposed to be the racist white guy. I'm sitting back at the office like, what the hell are we doing with this guy? It sounds like he wants them to win. I thought he was on our side. Whose side is this guy on anyway? If I'm the white racist guy sitting in the office watching Charlie go to work.
That's not racism. I am my ancestors' dream. I'm in the deep South, Tennessee, I don't know, 40, 60 feet, probably above tons of my ancestors that were slaves hundreds of years ago, living their dream right now. I am my grandfather's dream, who could not speak openly like this.
It amazes me that people really listen to that shit and really said that was some racist shit to say. Like,
who actually dealt with the Jim Crow laws, who actually dealt with the real racism.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
I wonder, like, why
I'm
would
afforded every
anybody think that was
opportunity any
racist?
white person is
Why would anybody think what he just said was racist?
on this in this country right now. Are there economical differences? For sure. Are there some systemic things that we can get into? For sure. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have it better than every other generation of Black people that have come before me in this nation. I have it better. We all have it better. We genuinely do. I don't understand how people can sit here and call Charlie Kirk a racist when even back in 2018, 1920, hosted events like the Young Black Leadership Summit, where he would take 200 to 300 young Black people all across the United States.
What? What? He did what? He did what and why? I thought he was the racist guy. Like, come on, what are we doing? Why would he do something like this? And he's a racist. He's just as bad as a racist as Trump is. Golly, like, why would he host an event for Black children? For Black what? Amir, did he really do something like this?
For sure. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have it better than every other generation of Black people that have come before me in this nation. I have it better. We all have it better. We genuinely do. I don't understand how people can sit here and call Charlie Kirk a racist when even back in 2018, 1920, hosted events like the Young Black Leadership Summit, where he would take 200 to 300.
He hosted the event, the Young Black Leadership Conference. I'm gonna see if I can look that up. I'm gonna see if I can find that online. And I want to hear what he said to these people at the Young Black Leadership Conference. You mean he's hosting? He's hosting? You mean he's hosting Young Black Leadership Conference events to help promote people to be leaders, help promote copper color children to be leaders? Why would he want to do a thing like that if he's a racist? I'm just saying, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm probably tripping. All right? I'm probably the one tripping. Listen, man, call me what you want. At this point, I'm going to agree to disagree on the racist thing. I mean, and not just because of these two clips, because I've been doing my own research, and I don't see racist. I just don't. And furthermore, the fact that he was taken out by a YT person, furthermore, makes me feel like he was saying too much stuff that benefited us that they didn't like. I'm just saying, maybe that's why they got him up out of here. I mean, it was one of his own that took him out.
For sure. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have it better than every other generation of Black people that have come before me in this nation. I have it better. We all have it better. We genuinely do. I don't understand how people can sit here and call Charlie Kirk a racist when even back in 2018, 1920, hosted events like the
19
Young Black
and 20?
Leadership Summit.
Wait
where
a
he
minute.
was-
So he did 18, 19, and 20? He hosted Young Black Leadership Conferences? Yeah, he probably should give up being a racist too. Him and Trump are garbage at being racist.
Take 200 to 300 young Black people all across the United States, invite them to DC, invite them to meet the president, invite them to the White House, invite them on this journey in this conference to learn more about the Black history in this nation from other Black people, to hear about stories that aren't taught in schools, to see a different side of our past as victors and not victims, being a part of founding organizations like Blexit, where they are active in a ton of different states, in a ton of low-income Black neighborhoods, giving young Black kids mentors, school supplies, rides, field trips, events, block parties, that man. But people just want to say, oh, he was racist because he said this one thing. That's not how this works. You're allowed to have an opinion. You're allowed to say things. And also, you as a person watching this video, you're allowed to fact check everything for yourself. You're allowed to think deeper and think critical about the things that are being said. That's okay for you to do. And the things Charlie Kirk often talked about blew my mind, especially on the topic of race. Because as someone, again, who was in the streets marching with BLM, crying my eyes out because of the pain that I felt being a Black man in America and a gay man, double marginalized, double victimized, and going to these events and meeting these people and talking to these people and realizing, wow, actually, I don't have it that bad. You could have told me 10,000 Black people were being shot and killed by the police, unarmed. And most years, more people are being struck by lightning than Black unarmed men are being shot by the cops. That man, Charlie Kirk, was not a racist man. Affirmative action.
If you see a Black person in a position, or minority or whatever, the assumption is that that person is not qualified. When literally, and you have to be qualified in order to even to get in that position.
Well, so let's take college admissions. So this is a great example. At Harvard, we learned because of new revealed documents that Black students were having test scores that were 30 to 35% lower than their white counterparts.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Okay.
And so therefore, if you saw a Black kid at Harvard, it's a fact that they were not having the same test standards as their white counterparts.
Still doesn't matter. The kid has to get through. He's got to get through the classes, do the tests, do all the research.
Well, they actually
pass
drop out
everything.
at a greater rate too. But the point being is just the idea that they were there, number one, took a spot from an otherwise qualified individual that might be white. And they were not there on the same merits. So what we want is the same rules for everybody.
You're making the assumption that they're not qualified in order to get in. In order to even get there,
It's not the
be
assumption,
considered.
it's the data. So for example, it's literally at Harvard, you had kids with perfect SAT scores, perfect ACT scores that were white.
So that makes a degree from Harvard worthless then.
Well, you're exactly right. Yeah, actually, Harvard's degree is becoming more worthless because it's more race-based than merit-based. You're exactly right.
Affirmative action in a nutshell. Oh, well, Charlie Kirk was against affirmative action. That means he's racist. Oh, there's tons of Black people against affirmative action as well. I don't need you to lower my test scores because that's even more racist. I don't need you to lower my
There are copper colored people who are definitely against getting handouts, being handed something because of their race. There are people, I've heard some of the elders talk about that's not how they want to live. They want to earn they want to earn what they get. They want to get it out the mud. They don't want you to give it to them because of their race. So he's definitely right about that. There's people who are against just getting handouts just because of how you look.
test scores to give me a chance to get into college. Don't you want to feel like you earned your spot? Don't you want to feel like you worked hard for something? Why would you want to get a handout? Why would you want to just be given, hey, you black, we're going to enter you into Harvard because you got a D. Even though these white people are getting A's, I know you're not capable of getting an A, and we need more blacks.
And we need to get a certain number of y'all in here. I mean, I know you got a D in there, but and I know your test scores ain't gonna match up to these folks, but we got to get a certain number of y'all up in here. It ain't gonna help you none. Being that you didn't know as much as these people to be qualified for the position, but because we gotta get a certain number up in here, we're gonna bring you in.
At our college, so we're just gonna go ahead and accept you in even though you have D's. Do you not find that disrespectful? Do you, if you're a black person watching this and you're studying super hard and you get into Harvard, don't you want to feel like you got into Harvard because of all the work you've been putting in and not just the color of your skin? That's why a lot of people are against affirmative action.
Except for the victimhood people. Now the victimhood people just want to, hey, they feel entitled. Give it to me because of slavery. Give it to me. Like, I need that. Give it to me because of systematic racism. Give it to me because of white supremacy. I need that handout. I need that handout. I don't want to have to qualify because I'm a victim. That's it. That's all. Because I'm a victim.
They don't want these handouts. They don't like that this is the thing. You're making the assumption, no, it's actually real stuff that has been going on. Real stuff, you guys. That is okay to call out. It is. So before people go shout from the rooftops, oh my gosh, this is horrible, this is racist. It's not. It's actually racist in reverse. I think some of the affirmative action things being put in place is actually racist. Critical race theory.
Let me tell. Okay, y'all can laugh, but until you have walked as a black person on this campus, y'all truly don't understand.
CJ, come here, really quick. I have a question. Come here. Go right there. Okay. So CJ, just really quick. You're a black person. Are you hunted at the university?
I don't feel hunted at this university, but I guess the difference between me and some people here is that I don't choose to be a victim.
Oh, there we go. I was going to the pause button before he even said that. No, brother. You can't say that you're not going through what the rest of the people, the rest of the copper colored people going through, because then they're going to call you a coon. They're going to say you're a bootlicker. They're going to say you're a race trader. They're going to say you love the white man. Okay? You can't tell them, hey, I worked hard to get where I'm at. I qualified to get where I'm at. No, we can't talk about you qualifying because then you're a coon. I was just getting ready to say that, but you see, he said it for me. You got some people that just feel like victims and they need the handout. They just need the handout.
Critical race theory.
Let me tell. Okay, y'all can laugh, but until you have walked as a black person on this campus, y'all truly don't understand.
CJ, come here, really quick. I have a question. Come here. Go right there. Okay. So CJ, just really quick, you're a black person. Are you hunted at the university?
You know, I don't feel hunted at this university, but I guess the difference between me and some people here is that I don't choose to be a victim, Charlie, which I think is the biggest problem we have here today are people who wake up every single day looking for a reason to be oppressed, looking for a reason to cry and make an excuse about why they're not in a position to go win. I don't see the color of my skin as a disability. I see it as simply an accessory that I couldn't control. I've been black all my life. I've been black today. I'm thriving here. I think that's a roll tide right there, right?
And so CJ.
Nah. You can't talk like that. You can't. What up, Annie? You can't talk like that, brother. Nah, you gotta be a victim with the rest of us. I gotta rewind what he just said. You gotta be a victim with the rest of us. Yeah, because we need handouts. We don't want to have to do the work like you did, sir. To get to where you're at, we gotta be victims. Man, I appreciate everything that brother just said. Real talk.
I have a question. Come here. Go right there. So CJ, just really quick, you're a black person. Are you hunted at the university?
You know, I don't feel hunted at this university, but I guess the difference between me and some people here is that I don't choose to be a victim, Charlie, which I think is the biggest problem we have here today are people who wake up every single day looking for a reason to be oppressed, looking for a reason to cry and make an excuse about why they're not in a position to go win. I don't see the color of my skin as a disability. I see it as simply an accessory that I couldn't control.
And it sounds a little something like this. White supremacy, Tariq Nasheed. White supremacy. White supremacy, Tariq Nasheed, the leader of the white supremacy, woe is me, I'm oppressed Negro tribe. He's the leader of that tribe. Everything out his mouth is white supremacy, systemic racism, the white man, Tariq Nasheed. I never heard somebody say white supremacy as much as that man. White supremacy. White supremacy. Oh, that burns me up.
Critical race theory.
Let me tell, okay, y'all can laugh, but until you have walked as a black person on this campus, y'all truly don't understand.
CJ, come here. Really quick. I have a question. Come here. Go right there. So CJ, just really quick, you're a black person. Are you hunted at the university?
You know, I don't feel hunted at this university, but I guess the difference between me and some people here is that I don't choose to be a victim, Charlie, which I think is the biggest problem we have here today are people who wake up every single day looking for a reason to be oppressed, looking for a reason to cry and make an excuse about why they're not in a position to go win. I don't see the color of my skin as a disability. I see it as simply an accessory that I couldn't control. I've been black all my life. I've been black today. I'm thriving here. I think that's a roll tide right there, right?
And so CJ, let me ask you, CRT, racist?
It's not just racist. It's the exact iteration of white supremacy, just in reverse. I think it's important that we start teaching young people not to hate other people because of the color of their skin. We can teach black people to be proud of who they are without telling white people they should be ashamed of who they are. You know?
Amen.
I mean,
never sue the person who hit you after a car accident. I just got $100,000 for an accident I was in last month.
So,
to me,
closing thought, CJ. Is
But
this
who am
trying
I?
to divide the country?
It's not only trying to divide the country, it's trying to break apart the foundation upon which it was built. You know, people forget the words of MLK, Rosa Parks, all those people who fought so hard for us to be united country, where we didn't see the color of one's skin, but their character. This is about taking us away from the vision and the dream of Martin Luther King and just taking us to the dream of Kamala Harris. And I don't want to live that dream.
Amen.
Sorry.
CJ, you're a great American. Give it up for
Thank you so
CJ,
much.
everybody. So good.
That is my friend CJ Pearson. Shout out to CJ. Incredible video. That sums up really well how Charlie Kirk and a lot of other people felt about critical race theory. And it's interesting, you know, that black girl that started off the video If you were Black on this campus, you would see how we really feel. We have to stop speaking on behalf of everybody.
Facts.
We do.
Facts.
Because that quick, there's another Black person, another student at
that came through and said, yeah, I ain't going through what you going through, Miss Victim. I ain't going through that. So I don't know what you're talking about on this campus, Miss Victim. Miss I'm a victim. I don't know what you're talking about. Just that fast. Somebody popped up like, that would be me. That would be just like me. I would pop up and be like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. I don't go through all that.
At university, in that audience that said, I'm having a different experience than you. I love it here. I'm thriving here. Mindset matters a lot, you guys. And on the topic of critical race theory, we're allowed to teach Black history. We're allowed to, it's American history. We're allowed to teach those things. I never understood this concept of critical race. You're focusing on race and Black History Month. No, we don't need it. Just incorporate a Black American and Black history into our nation's history and teach it all year round. I don't need a separate month to celebrate my race. I actually think it's racist to reduce my lineage and my family's American history to 1 month. It's just American history. And we can talk about it, we can teach about it without teaching Black people to be victims, that they're owed something from white people and have white people feel bad for being white because of what happened in the past. It's the past.
400 years. 400 years. We don't need Black History Month. Come on, man. We don't need Black History Month. For what? For what? We don't need Black History Month. Teach our history all year. Teach it all year. American history. We need a month of war, especially when it's our history. Like, we mainly make up the history of this land. Shit, what we need a month for? No, teach our history all year. And teach it right. Teach it right. Nah, don't give us no month. We built this country. This is our land. What are you talking about, a month? How y'all gonna give us a month? Nah, man, come on.
I don't feel bad about it because things have changed. Again, in my ancestors' dream, I'm afforded every right they wish they had. They can't even fathom the life I'm living right now. They can't. So on the topic of critical race theory and using that to call Charlie racist, kind reminder, there are tons of Black people who are against critical race theory too. So you're gonna sit here in front of my face and all these other Black people's face and call them all racist and they're race traitors and they hate themselves? Or you're gonna have critical mind. You're gonna think hard about this and really think, damn, what are some other perspectives on?
No, y'all are right. Y'all, they need to start talking about all of that. All of that. Everything. Right? Everything. A month. Y'all been playing us for a long time, like a month.
A critical race theory that must not be hearing. What do other Black people have to say about critical race theory? What was Charlie Kirk really saying about critical race theory? What was so hateful that people think, but then also so many other Black people loved? Look into it. Illegal immigration.
I don't like your t-shirt.
I don't like
But
your
as Skaney
t-shirt.
famously said, I'm
What is
condemned.
t-shirt say? What is
I'm an immigrant. I don't understand why you would want to deport some of my friends and family who have been working hard in this country.
What's your name? Sorry.
I'm Claudio, sir.
Yeah, Claudio. And this is just a thought exercise, but it's very revealing. You are king, and you find out that there are 30 million uninvited people in your country. What do you do with them?
I try to find the most humane way of sending them back to our country. But first of all, I want to say
that's what we're doing.
Wait,
That's what we're doing. So what country did you emigrate from?
Are you gonna like discriminate against me?
No, I'm going to do the opposite, actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you
yeah.
came here legally, correct?
What's going on, Carla?
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower.
Facts. Nobody's trying to just put out immigrants. It's the illegals. Nobody's just trying to put out all immigrants. It's the illegal ones. Come on, man. Come on. It's the illegals.
Are you gonna like discriminate against
No,
me?
I'm gonna do the opposite actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you
yeah.
came here legally, correct?
I did.
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower and rule breaker.
Yeah.
And so when someone breaks our rules, there must be justice done. And the most humane way is you go back to your country of origin.
Some of my boys, like, they're being like persecuted.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with
It actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you
yeah.
came here legally, correct?
I did.
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower and rule breaker.
Yeah.
And so when someone breaks our rules, there must be justice done. And the most humane way is you go back to your country of origin.
Some of my boys, like, they're being like persecuted, like back home, them and their families, like they're like in like drug related like wars and violence. And the only way out is if they escape and they break the American law. But that's the only way they're going to survive.
If that is correct, we have a special asylum status that they could seek legally at a port of entry, that they could go through a whole process.
Yeah, but if they're being persecuted, wouldn't it be justified to cut the line?
No. If we all of a sudden say that if you have a lot of gang violence and issues, I mean, like we have a lot of gang violence and issues. Like, what are we talking about here?
True.
You have to draw the line. If your plane is going down, what do they tell you to do first? You put your mask on first. It's the same way as a country. We need to put our own oxygen mask on first, and then we can worry about helping other people.
That's it. It's that simple. It's nothing race related. It's literally rule breakers and rule followers. We're talking about a man who threw Latino retreats, you guys. We're talking about someone that promoted so many different races and ethnicities.
I thought he was a racist.
including-
I thought he was a racist. So let me get this straight. Now, I know y'all gonna hate me for this, but I'm the coon. So he's a racist. He's white supremacy, but he's holding Black leadership conferences for our youth year after year. And he's helping the Mexicans too. All right.
Hispanics. Again, like the guy brought up, he said, okay, well, isn't it justified for them to cut the line because of how much heartbreak and all the things they're going through in Mexico? No. Because if that was the case, we take in the whole world. There's so much corruption in this world, you guys, it's not even funny. And if we were to take that all in and accept everybody who's breaking the law, what do we become? The reason people want to come here in the first place is because of how hard, for the most part, America stands on business. For the most part, we follow the rules and we follow the laws. These countries that people are fleeing from, cartels, drugs, corrupt politicians, nobody, it's all lawless. But again, for the most part, America has some structure. And we have enough structure to where people want to come here. They're breaking in. That's how good and how many opportunities are afforded here. The same group of people saying, I hate America, down with America, this is horrible, it sucks here, are the same people defending the people breaking in to get here. If it's really that bad, why are you telling them not to come? This is the great country to be in right now. And we also can't sit here and hip and holler and cry, oh my gosh, our infrastructure sucks. Healthcare sucks. Food sucks. Drug crisis sucks. This list goes on of everything wrong with America and not address it and just keep funneling in all these different people and give them resources. Why are we there's so much happening in our country. Why are we taking people who have broken the law, broken into this country, already broken the law, dude, they broke in the country, giving them monthly stipends, health insurance, places to live, when we all can go downtown in our own city and our own citizens are dealing with crap right now?
Come on, man. Come on, Amir.
At some point, when are we going to put America first and take care of ourselves?
Come on,
That's
Amir.
all that is. We're talking about legal immigration is fine. But illegal immigration? No, we can't have that. Oh, well, the ICE raids or any man, these people, they're ripping people from their families. If I'm driving drunk with kids in the back seat, I'm being taken away from my kids. So I broke the law.
Ooh. Come on, Amir. Oops. Was that what? That was another harsh truth.
As a parent, Breaking the law with my children is incredibly irresponsible, no matter how much violence I'm fleeing. Come in the right way. That's all anyone is trying to say. And the ample and
Hey, man, that might sound harsh, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Breaking the law with your children as a parent, regardless of what it is irresponsible.
thousands and thousands of other Hispanic people who back Charlie Kirk on those statements. The man's anti-immigration and so racist. No, he is not. Abortion.
Everybody, do me a favor. Please be respectful, okay?
Before we even get in, everybody be respectful. So we see what this person looks like, and you would think, oh, they're gonna get, beat by MAGA people and so judged and harassed. And no, it actually turns out to be a very productive and nice, calming debate. Not even debate, just conversation. But this is who they got rid of. The man that starts off a college debate. Everyone be respectful.
Hello. So I have a few leading questions before my main one. Because I have to be honest, I don't really know that much about you. So would you say that you're very
I love this interaction so much because I applaud this woman that instead of going to her friend groups, she went to Charlie. She saw this event, stood in line at that event, and waited to ask a question because she wanted to go right to the source.
I gotta say for myself, man, listen, man, I'm so glad that for my I'm gonna take this man out. We can agree to disagree. I don't get why they took this man out. I don't see it.
Amazing.
very religious?
I am religious. However, every one of my political positions is defensible from a non-religious perspective.
Okay, great. So I was under the impression that your beliefs on abortion were stemming from your religious beliefs.
Well, at the core, that is correct, but I can get that it is defensible from using reason and prudence, as I have done the last couple of.
Cool. So you're not trying to illegalize abortion based on the Bible.
Well, no, not based on the Bible. My personal conviction comes from the Bible. I want to make abortion illegal because it is the only applicable extension of laws we already and standards we already have in the West. Correct.
I'm sorry, can you maybe rephrase that?
Eliminating abortion is the only logical step while we apply the standard we already have in this country to unborn life. So we have murder laws.
Yes.
Therefore, murder laws should apply to unborn life as it does to born life.
Okay. So again, reiterating, you're not trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs because that would be unconstitutional, right?
Well, not again, sort of, but no, I am not using scripture to defend my beliefs. However, my personal convictions start with scripture, but the political views that we're talking about here are all defensible using reason and Western tradition.
2 points to this, because abortion argument isn't always about religion or God. There's a lot of agnostic people and atheist people who also do not like abortion for the very simple reason that nothing's consistent. You can have a pregnant woman driving to the abortion clinic to get rid of a baby and it's fine. But that same scenario, if she gets T-boned and killed, the person driving will get charged for double homicide. Like, how come this mom with the life inside of her can go to the clinic, get rid of it? It's fine. But if someone killed her, it's double homicide because there's two people. How come it's considered a separate person sometimes, but not? It's like when you have someone at 7 months getting an abortion, boom, it's fine. If you have 7 months, have the baby, and they kill that baby, that's murder, and the mom's going to jail. It's just strange. Nothing is consistent. The whole abortion argument's a separate video. But off the bat, I can tell you there's two sides that are just going at it from two completely different angles. There's a side that's like, well, it's the mother's body. And there's people down here saying, well, it's the baby's body. And that's the big difference that, we see happening. But again, the abortion side, that conversation, that debate, it's a whole that can go on for hours if we wanted it to.
So great. That's all I needed to know, that you weren't trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs, because I would not be able to support anything that was so blatantly unconstitutional. But thank you for clarifying that for me. I had a whole thing ready, but I guess that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
first of all, just tell me more about.
Yeah, threw her all off. She was ready to come. She was ready to come get down. His view messed her all up. She ain't even had no argument.
About how you view politics or what. Is that okay? Or if not, like, and you feel free to walk away. I'm not
Maybe
here.
not in this crowd.
That's okay. Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Archer.
Archer, thank you for coming up, and I hope you have a great
so
day.
much. Thank you for clarifying.
And let me just say one last thing. I could tell you probably have a negative impression of Christianity, maybe. I hope one day we can earn back your support to making Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior. I'm sorry if the church has failed you in that way, because I do have strong religious convictions and beliefs, and there is a God who made you and loves you, and he sent his son to die for you.
Her name is Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do appreciate the candor and the courage to come up here, but we will pray for you. Thank you.
Okay. Kick it out.
Thank you, Archer.
Super nice. Like, that is so wholesome. It really is. And on this topic of abortion, like I said before, there's so much debate around it. But just because you have someone like Charlie Kirk that is very against abortion, let's just go into it for what it is. It's a separate life. You know, people bring up how he said, you know, he would be against abortion and people should give birth. If they're pregnant, they need to go full term. That's something that I even disagree with Kirk on. But at the end of the day, he's allowed to have that opinion, and doesn't deserve to be assassinated for that opinion. Why?
I'm going to stop it here because I gotta take my ass to sleep, man. I gotta be at work in the morning. But I'm gonna stop it here, right? That was my first time watching that video. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't get it. I don't see it. I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna keep watching. Somebody got to show me. I'm just lost, man. Like, I'm just lost at why was it so I think this is what I'm kind of asking. The question I'm asking. Why was it so important to silence that guy? I mean, he's not in no political office. It makes more sense to me. It makes more sense to me that he was more of a threat to somebody else than a threat to us. I like when I saw the news of him being assassinated, I was like, well, who is he? Who is this? Then when I started to look into him, I say, well, I mean, okay, he's a debater. Okay. Why was it so important to silence him, his voice? And again, when I watched the racism part, though you may not have liked what he said, like, if I'm the white supremacist guy sitting in the office, though, watching him, and I want to keep these people oppressed, and I'm listening to him tell these people that we want to keep oppressed and feel inferior to white supremacy, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is Charlie doing? Why is he complimenting that Negro baby? Why is he saying nice things to these people that may inspire them to do better for themselves and possibly do better than us? We're pushing the narrative that he's a racist. What is he doing? Why would he say things like There's nothing holding you back. You can be just as great as the white man, or you're not oppressed. Get out of the mind frame that you're oppressed. Get out of that. Like, why would you say things like that to the people that we want to be oppressed? If I'm the white man sitting in the office watching him supposed to be the face of racism and white supremacy, I'm scratching my head like, what is Charlie doing? Charlie, why are you taking the kids to the White House? Why are you hosting events for Black leadership, Charlie? What is going on? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, this is how I'm looking at it. I don't get it. I don't get it. If I put him in place to be the face of white supremacy, what is he doing? You're supposed to be a racist, Charlie. But you're doing things to help benefit the people we want to keep oppressed. What do you mean you don't believe in race, Charlie? Of course you believe in race. That's what you're here for. White power. Remember white power? Why are you telling these Negroes, we're all the same? No, we're not. It's white power, remember? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't get it. I know we have victim Negroes who make everything about race. They take any little clip of him saying something the same way they do Trump. Same way they do Trump. You're still running around here calling Trump a racist. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see where he's a racist at, man. But with that being said, I'm about to close this out. You know what? I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but before I go, I wasn't gonna do this, but before I go, I'm gonna run back my video that I played because listen, man, I'm just somebody who just ain't, I don't go for the victim mentality, man. And people may get mad at me when I do this, when I say this. I just think it's too many of us living this victim mentality. And I'm gonna play my video from earlier today on my way out of here. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. You can agree to disagree with me. You may not feel this, but I just don't agree with the victim mentality. I just don't. So I'm gonna go out with this, man.
If white immigrants can come to this country 50 years ago with nickels and dimes and no education, and come here and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, and set up little stores, develop these stores into larger stores, develop this into an industry which creates job opportunities for whites. Since Lincoln was supposed to have freed the black man 100 years ago, and today the black man, according to the government economists, has spending power of $20 billion per year. We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own kind, he's not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and tell the white man that he's discriminating against him for not giving him a job in factories that he himself set up.
Especially black people that are saying Charlie Kirk was racist and was not for black people and did not know black people. I am 100% convinced that you have never sat through a full debate of his or watched any of his debates with a sound understanding. Black people are always so quick to want to be the victim of a situation that they can't thrive. And this is one of the things that Charlie Kirk was exposing to black people.
Do you know black Americans are the richest black people on earth?
What statistic
Africa.
is that? Okay, I need you to pull that up like right now.
You can. Black Americans per capita on average.
Can you pull that up?
mean, I'm hosting an event right now. I don't know what to tell you, but anyone can fact check me on this. So you cannot find a black majority country or any country where black people have significant representation where they are as wealthy, because even the poorest people in America are in the top 5%, the top 2% of wealth around the world. And so my whole belief is stop acting like you're a victim and start making better choices.
They have such a cap on us because we think we're limited, because we're black, or because we're women, and because we think our ancestors, whatever they went through, is still impacting us today, but we are not there anymore.
The only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and solve our problem ourselves.
Charlie Kirk wasn't saying that we didn't need or black problems didn't matter. He was saying, hey, you're not a slave anymore, and there are no more laws that are holding you back, saying that you can't do what a white person can do. You should get up and go and try these methods and become somebody. One thing we got to understand is life is hard, and we don't need handouts. Yeah, that's why this man was just killed over mere opinions. Having an opinion. This man never said nothing racist or hated or hateful towards black people. I followed this man very closely and watched many of his debates, and I stand in agreement with a lot of the things that he say. And I really, if I disagree with anything, it was so small I can't even think about nothing I disagree with. And I just hate that we are people who are so quick to be controlled by the word racism that just one little clip misrepresenting what somebody said is all we need to throw somebody under the bus. We got to think about this. Who are the kind of people, and not to imagine, this was a white on white crime. And whenever these type of people get involved, that means there is some power being seeped out somewhere to the masses that the people in control don't want the power to be with. And this is what he was doing. He was showing a lot of people that are blind and programmed by the system to wake up and get out the matrix. And this was the problem. Telling black people you don't need government assistance because you can be somebody is not racist.
You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and got it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last.
Telling us that government assistance has hindered us because before we were on government assistance, we were more successful people is not racist by reading and understanding the facts. Ever since we started getting subsidized by the government, we have been controlled by the government, and not in only what we can do, but how we think. And this is a person who challenges you to think for yourself. The things he said about George Floyd, y'all act like because an officer killed George Floyd, that made him a saint, like he wasn't a criminal, like he wasn't on drugs. That's what caused him to be suffocated and pass out. Y'all like he wasn't resisting. Like he was just being a good law-abiding citizen and was just taken out senselessly like we do each other. That wasn't the case. So when they're pointing out this stuff, y'all don't like nobody telling y'all the truth. Black people don't want to hear the truth because we benefit off of not working and being lazy off of government assistance and stuff. One thing Charlie Kirk also said was that the black people want to become better, we're going to have to stop celebrating crime and murder. Our culture is destruction. Our culture is destruction, and it ain't nothing we can do or say to change that. Everything we have from the women in our idolization groups, Beyonce, Summer Walker, SZA, Cardi B, Sexy Red, all of them are horrible examples of how to be as a woman. The same thing with the NBA young boy, Lil Baby, Da Baby, Lil Wayne, Baby, P. Diddy. All of those are examples of how to be a terrible person. And what he is saying is get these examples from in front of you and your kids so that y'all can thrive. Also, let's work on building the family back. One of the things that destroyed the family was removing a father out the home. Put that back together so we can start becoming a good community. But we don't like being told nothing. We don't like being told how to better ourselves because we want to be victims so bad. We want to be at the bottom of somebody's pity party so bad that we'll take anything we can to disregard or dismiss any ethical or sound doctrine to help better ourselves, so that we can steady dwell on a past that no longer affects us and that we can overcome and have the ability to become somebody. My last point is, I always tell my daughter, because I made her read about Madam C.J. Walker, a self-made Black woman millionaire during a time way worse than today. So everybody with all these excuses of why you can't be successful because you Black or a woman, odds have always been being defeated since the beginning of time.
Like a victim role.
Respect.
This is not a victim mentality.
No, it fundamentally is, because white people are not out to get you. There's nothing. There is nothing holding Black people back.
Stop teaching your kids and capping your kids as you Black or you a woman, so there's stripes against you. Stop teaching that to your kids and let them know you're going to have to work hard for whatever you want. Be resourceful and go for what it is that your goal is. But we keep teaching each other that, oh, it's hard because we Black.
Now imagine you all talking about how tough it is to be Black, but you have a president and a vice president not saying they're Black, but allowing themselves to be called Black to get the privilege. But Obama and Kamala used it to be president and vice president. Think about how insane that is. They're using it to get the high positions in the land, and you're using it to say you're oppressed. The same identification, the same thing. They're saying, I'm gonna use Blackness to be the greatest ever. You're saying Blackness has me being the worst ever.
I've been a victim of that mentality too. And that keeps you in a slave mentality. It keeps you from going to strive. If you are conditioning people and making people believe that I automatically am going to lose or fail, or it's going to be even harder for me just because I'm Black, most people are not going to even get up and put their best foot forward. So when you tell people, hey, wake up, you don't have to be like this and you can be better, that's making you get uncomfortable because now it's time for you to work and become somebody instead of dwelling in your comfort of nothingness. And everybody is taking this man and all these clips and misrepresenting him, all for the simple fact that people don't want to do better, that people hate knowledge. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 1, 22 through 24, when will you fools stop hating knowledge? Fools hate knowledge. And that's all this man was giving out is knowledge. And if anybody saw fit that this man should be executed in front of his wife, kids, and thousands of people just because he was giving out knowledge, it's absolutely insane. And if anybody thought this was okay or warranted, it's absolutely insane. And we got to pray about your heart. And no matter how you feel about it, no matter how your feelings get hurt, because all of this saving people's feelings and stopping people from getting offended is why somebody felt the need to go and assassinate somebody for having an opinion.
Your ultimate aim. The only way the problem can be solved. First, the white man and the Black man have to be able to sit down at the same table. The white man has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of that Negro. And the so-called Negro has to feel free to speak his mind without hurting the feelings of the white man. Then they can bring the issues that are under the rug out on top of the table and take an intelligent approach to get the problem solved. That's the only way that they'll ever do it.
We got to be careful what we listen to and what we fall for, and stop falling for the propaganda and lies that is being used to control us and tell us how to think instead of thinking for ourselves.
My sister, whoever you are, boy, you hit the nail on the head for me. You hit the bullseye. I mean, front, dead, and center for me. You hit the ball out of the park. Super home run for me. Grand slam home run for me with that video. I cannot agree with you more. You, sister, you said a word, and it's an unpopular word. I am very much on record. I'm very much on record saying pretty much the same thing you saying. I don't live my life as no victim out here.
For instance, the average so-called Negro, he doesn't think that he can go into business and provide jobs for himself. And because of this, he thinks that he can only get a job from the white man, or he can only get clothes from the white man, or he can only get food from the white man.
Is there racism? Sure. Is there uneven playing grounds? Sure there is. I'm just not somebody who lives my life. I can't be successful because of white supremacy.
White man has brainwashed the so-called Negro to the point of believing in white supremacy so much that today some Negroes think that they're not making progress, or they don't have anything unless they're living in a white neighborhood, unless they have the white man's neighborhood, a seat in the white man's school, or a position on the white man's job.
White supremacy. Oh my gosh, systematic racism, systemic racism. Oh my gosh, because slavery happened.
The same thing that the white man has done for himself and his kind, if our people could if we could be cured of our slave mentality that was indoctrinated into us during slavery, we would realize that just as the white man can do these things for himself and his kind, we can get together in unity and harmony and do the same thing for ourselves and our kind.
Oh, I just can't be successful. And we need this and we need that because our ancestors, and it's 2026.
There will come a time when black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough to think for themselves, as other humans are intellectually independent enough to think for themselves. Then the black man will think like a black man, and he will feel for other black people. And this new thinking and feeling will cause black people to stick together. And then at that point, you'll have a situation where when you attack one black man, you are attacking all black men. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together. And this type of thinking also will bring an end to the brutality inflicted upon black people by white people. And it is the only thing that will bring an end to it.
Because our ancestors went through this, and our ancestors went through that.
We wake up, we clean up, and we stand up. And once we can stand up like a man on our own feet, we stop begging the white man. And we stop apologizing to the white man. We stop compromising with the white man. Then the world will look at us with recognition and respect.
Oh my gosh, the white man, the white man, the white man.
Instead of trying to change the white man in your mind and make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
I hate people like this. I totally agree. These are the type of people that always want to be victims. Their mentality is a victim mentality. They always want handouts from the government.
The government itself is responsible for the poverty that makes you and me turn to alcohol, to dope, and to crime. The government is responsible for the bad housing conditions that exist here in Harlem. The government is responsible for the rats that bite our little children and the cockroaches that eat better than we do. Don't look for the author in Harlem. Go downtown and look for him in City Hall. And brothers and sisters, if you don't find him in City Hall, look for him in Albany, in the State House, or look for him in Washington, in the White House.
You know, they want to be entitled to this. Well, we deserve to be entitled because our ancestors went through slavery. Slavery is not exclusive to copper-colored people. It is not. It just is not. All right? Slavery was a big thing. Everybody went through slavery. People are still going through slavery today. Oh my gosh, because white supremacy. Oh my gosh, white supremacy is holding us back.
But black, it's hard being black. Is Kamala Harris black? Yeah, she black because she went to Howard. And she the AKA. And she know how to mix her cornbread with her collard greens black. That's how we know she black. Can you imagine how pathetic you all have to be for Kamala Harris to do a photo op eating soul food and mix the cornbread with the collard greens so that you all can say she's black? Do you know how easy it is to say? Do you know how easy it is to be black? Now imagine all it took was Howard University, AKA cornbread and greens, and she's black. Meanwhile, I say I'm not black and y'all won't let me go. They got you all running around saying how hard it is to be black, and they're using black to be president and vice president. Now you want me to say it or you gonna say it? Because I'm gonna call you stupid and dumb.
Gosh, white supremacy is holding us back. Oh my gosh, but yet in the same breath, you want to scream black power, black power.
Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power.
Well, where's your black power when you're always crying about low amen, systemic racism, but then in the same breath want to scream black power?
Calling me a white supremacist towards black people because I'm calling out the accountability in my own community is diabolical. It's diabolical. Reparations has always been bigger than a paycheck. I don't think y'all understand that reparations actually means to repair harm done. This has always been bigger than a paycheck. Nobody is not saying don't return the wealth. I'm saying we need to repair the harm that's done. And that doesn't only include people that's outside of the community. We can't sit up here and act like our hands are not dirty within our own community.
Is it black power or is it, oh my gosh, we're oppressed?
To me, slavery doesn't affect us today. Only in understanding how it happened and not repeating it, but it don't affect us today. There's nothing stopping me from being on the university full of white people. How am I any different than a white person? Let me tell you this. I want to say this. When people say that black people had a disadvantage in America, and they explore this idea or they exacerbate this idea of white privilege, they're essentially saying black people aren't better or aren't the same as white people. They're saying that black people are less than white people. Because right now, every black person on this campus should understand that there's nothing that a white person can do that you can't do. And if you don't feel that way, you've been tricked.
Oh my gosh, which one is it? Is it black power or is it, oh my gosh, low white men? Oh my gosh, systemic racism. Oh my gosh, white supremacy.
What does that feel like?
What do you mean, what does it feel like?
Does
I feel
it
like
feel-
a victim of white supremacy.
So you
White man has bred our people, brainwashed the so-called Negro to the point of believing in white supremacy so much that today some Negroes think that they're not making progress or they don't have anything unless they're living in a white neighborhood, unless they have the white man's neighborhood, a seat in the white man's school, or a position on the white man's job.
feel like a victim?
I'm a victim. I'm a victim of white supremacy. Yeah.
And so are they holding you back financially?
Holding me back financially? Well, they can.
Are
they? They can.
Are they?
They can.
No, but are they?
They can.
Well, I didn't ask you if they could.
Can. If I get too powerful, yeah, they'll chop my stuff down just like they chop everybody else's stuff down.
Are they holding you back financially?
What do you mean are they holding me back? I'm in a prison called white supremacy that's global. So we're allowed, certain black people are allowed to have certain resources, but they know they can take it back.
Are they
to
holding
black
Tariq Nasheed back financially?
I'm in a system where they can hold me back.
But right now they're not holding you back.
Well, they can hold me back.
Are they holding you back?
Define holding me back.
You don't know what, are they holding you back from being successful in your life?
Well, I'm successful because I understand white supremacy, and I'm successful as far as I can be, as much as I can be, because they can stop my success at the drop of a hat.
Like, I can't stand hearing victim Negroes.
And America. We all deal with racism. White people deal with racism. Black people deal with racism. Everyone deals with
racism. White people or black people?
At this point in time, I would definitely say white people.
You're delusional.
I believe you're delusional.
You can't erase 400 years. You can't.
No one's trying to erase 400 years, but you're only focused, hyper-focused on the 400 years instead. Of course, you're thinking by your skin color instead of your brain. Your brain is not here. Your brain is not here. Your brain's up here. So think with your brain instead of your skin color. When you think by your skin color, this is what type of mentality you embody.
I'm black. That's it. I'm black.
We're human beings. We're human beings. This is why our society is going backwards instead of forward. You can keep repeating the same thing over and over because we keep repeating the narrative. It doesn't matter.
You're integrationist. I don't care about white.
I don't care about integration. I care about us coming together as the United States of America. This is the United States of America, not a divided States of America. You're in a divided States of America. I'm in the United.
They make everything about race. Yes, again, an unpopular opinion from Chief Cali. Everything is race. Race this, race that.
I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on the soapbox trying to politicize this.
And listen, it's not even a full 24 hours yet. It's already starting. The race baiting is already starting. The excuses already starting. Oh, Kamala lost because black men didn't show up. Now, all of a sudden, this morning, Kamala lost because the white woman, didn't show up and didn't vote for her. Or the Hispanics didn't show up and didn't vote for her. How about her policy ain't shit? How about that? Could that be the reason why she lost? Could the reason that she lost is all has been a lie from the beginning? And like any relationship that you start with a lie, it doesn't end well.
Same people who don't care about nothing that's going on in their neighborhood, don't try to handle anything that's going on in their neighborhood that Negroes do to Negro. They'll come back and say, it's just a crime issue. It's not a black on black crime situation. It's a crime situation.
You know, the weirdest thing that I'm hearing is this black on black crime thing. And it's most of the people that look like me that spewing this, black people, like especially the ones that want to be close to white mama and white daddy. Then you got the ones that's kind of like on the MLK side of things, like love is love. What about black on black crime? And we be killing each other, unaliving each other, as they say.
Calling me a white supremacist towards black people because I'm calling out the accountability in my own community is diabolical.
6,400 black people committed murder. They committed murder in 1 year. 6,400. Some people say 48 million black people in America. Some people say 44. Well, I'm gonna use 48 million. That sounds a little better. 48 million black Americans are in the United States of America. Out of 48 million, 6,400 black people committed murder. But out of all those million, that's how many committed. That's like 0.000133333 of the black population commit crime or commit murder. And we hold on to that 0.000133333 of people, and we blanket all black people with it. Ain't that crazy?
We can't sit up here and act like our hands are not dirty within our own community. We're busy blowing each other down in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't the men in our community teaching these young men how to defend our community with the same instruments they're using to blow each other down in the community? I think I'm part of one of the last generations that came from the neighborhoods looking out for each other. I'm pretty sure because I was born in '83. I'm pretty sure I'm part of that last generation that came from neighborhoods like that. Where the OGs, even if they were gang members, the OGs looked out for the neighborhoods. Bring that shit back. Bring that shit back. What about safe houses? For women in domestic violence, we had a young lady in our neighborhood last week who was unalived with their child in the house by the man that she was trying to leave. And the horrible thing about that story is that even though she was unalived by the man that she was trying to leave, her mother 25 years prior to that was unalived by the man that she was trying to leave. So we just passing down generational trauma, and y'all don't think that we have no accountability in this? Like none, not whatsoever. It's just always white people's fault. We didn't do nothing. We're not contributing to the madness. What I'm trying to point out to y'all is that there is a divide in our community. And the reason why there's a divide in our community, because some of us want true liberation, and some of y'all want to sit at the table instead of wanting to burn the table the fuck down. And those who don't want to sit at the table, you just want a comfortable cell. You don't want change for real. It's called for change for real. Boots on the ground, change for real. We have some of the most educated people in our community. You can't tell me that we can't put our heads together, and people who are educated and know how to write grants and know how to get grants approved can't get some actual programs that's going to help us in our community. We scream Black Panther Party all day long, but none of y'all ain't about that life for real. Everybody want to complain but don't know how, no solutions. And then you're going to have the audacity to tell me that I am a white supremacist towards Black people because I am screaming accountability.
White people kill white people. Chinese people kill Chinese people. We're not talking about white people killing white people. We're not talking about Chinese people killing Chinese people. We're talking about you and your people, the same people in your neighborhood, killing each other, degrading each other, hurting each other, harming each other. But guess what? When it's time to turn the mirror around and for you to see what you do to you and how you tear each other's down, we don't want to look at that. Only thing we want to do is wait for a white man to come in our neighborhoods and put a knee on our neck, and then we want to cry and be fake outraged. This is why so many of y'all were so willing to go with Carmelo Anthony, because y'all are the type of people, as long as motherfuckers look like you think they're right, or because they look like you and they do something to a white person, you think they're right. Whether they're right or wrong, you don't look at the right or wrong, you just look at the fact that they look like you, and you think it's okay to say, yeah, they did it to a white man, okay, because we've been going through this for 400 years.
You can't erase 400 years. You can't.
No one's trying to erase 400 years, but you're only focused, hyper-focused on the 400 years.
For 400 years, we've been oppressed. But Black Power, though, Black Power. Oh, we're so Black Power, but then we turn right around and say, oh, woe is me. We're so oppressed by white supremacy. Man, fuck out of here with that victimhood shit.
Was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore.
One white man named Lincoln supposedly fought the Civil War to solve the race problem, and the problem is still here. And then another white man named Kennedy came along running for president and told Negroes what all he was going to do for them if they voted for him and they voted for him. 80%. He's been in office now for 3 years, and the problem is still here. When police dogs were biting black women and black children and black babies in Birmingham, Alabama, that Kennedy talked about what he couldn't do because no federal law had been violated. And as soon as the Negroes exploded and began to protect themselves and got the best of the crackers in Birmingham, then Kennedy sent for the troops. And there was he didn't have any new law. When he sent for the troops, when the Negroes erupted, than he had at the time when whites were erupting.
Here are 15 racist things Charlie Kirk has said over the years.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
How are you? What a beautiful kid that is.
Thank you.
What a gift
so
from God.
Much.
Yeah.
She truly is just seeing how
For people who want to call Charlie a racist, kiss my black ass. Excuse my language. Charlie Kirk is not a racist.
I love this guy. I'll tell you.
A lot of them never imagined going to the White House, and Charlie helped hundreds of young black boys and girls go to the White House. Charlie, thank you for that. Thank you, Charlie.